Hi, this is Steve Rapson. I'm going to show you my simple right-hand strum that's good for just about anything you want to use it for. I call it the Weemaway strum, which also transmogrifies into the Proud Mary strum. Sounds like this. First is the Weemaway. For those of you who know what Weemaway is. Now, just by changing the emphasis, you get Proud Mary. 2, 3, 4. So, here's how you play it. It's really easy. I have a low-tech diagram. 1 E and E. That's how a 16th note divides into one beat. So you have 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and, but there's two other little beats in there, and we call them, some people call them 1 and a 2, and other people call them 1 E and E. I'm going to call it 1 E and E. So as you can see, the 1 is your thumb. The E is a finger. Usually it's my, let me see. Usually it's my middle finger for the first E, and it's my index finger for the second E. And the hit looks like this. Nice, easy curl of your fingers, sort of like a semi-fist. And the way to practice this, especially if you're a beginner, this is a G chord, which is just, and then we got the, on the 3rd fret for the G and the D. So for the way to practice it is to start it, break it down into very simple pieces. So first we're just going to work on 1. And 1 sounds like this. I'm hitting basically the bottom 3 strings, but really makes no difference if you hit the others. So now that once you've got that down, you keep a steady beat. Then we're going to do the hit, which is a fist. It also can be like a karate chop with the flat of your hand. Here's how it sounds differently. So 1 and 1 and. See how the strings hitting the fret sounds like a snare drum, which is an effect that we want. However, if you want to make it less pronounced, you can use 1. Now I just use the heel of my hand, 1 and I'm hitting less aggressively and just using the flesh of my right there. Again, slow and steady wins the race. 1 and 1 and. That's with the flesh. Here it is with the fingers curled and hitting with the knuckles. 1 and 1 and. We'll continue. 1 and 2 and you could do is like so that's a strum that you could use. So now we're going to add this first finger right here, the first 1 E. So 1 E. See, I usually use my middle finger for the E, but you could use your first finger. Again, very simply, 1 E and 1 E. Just brush the top 3 strings. You don't want to get caught in there. You just want to brush them. 1. See how my hand stays down and the finger is ready? 1 E and not doing the last E. Now see what that sounds like. 1 E. A little stilted. Here's what it sounds like. Not playing this E, but playing that E. So I'm going to go 1 and E. 1 and E. 1 and E. Sounds a little more what you'd expect. Now I'm going to put them all together. I'm backwards here. 1 E and D. Thumb, finger, hit it, finger. Again, I use the two different fingers. I'll do it really slowly and watch it right here. 1 E and E. 1 E and E. 1 E and D. 1 E and D. 1 E and D. 1 E. Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. It's Proud Mary. Or are we away, 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 away. Go to the C chord. C chord is that G, D, how's that? G, D, and then C, C, E. A lot of folky people do that. So that's it. There are variations, obviously, but that's the basic. And you can get it in a few days if you practice it slowly. 1 E and E. 1 E and E. Mozart said, fast playing comes from slow practice. He did say that too. 1 and D. 1 E and D. Now variations, once you've got the basics, because coordinating all these little finger movements does take a while, and it'll only happen if you do it slowly. Once you get it, you can start adding little embellishments with your thumb, such as now what's happening here? 1, hit. I'm not doing the first E. 1, and I'm sort of snapping up a little quick with my finger. 1, 1. So now I'm doing so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3 is how I'm counting it now. 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't want to count it. I want to, or like this. It's all the same motions, but it's a question of how much time you add for each of these little beats. If you read music, you know that they have dotted sixteenths, dotted 30-seconds, and those dots mean, or when you don't have the dots, it determines how much or how little time that each note gets. So the first thing I showed you was straight, 1 E N D, 1 E N D. But if it was dotted, it'd be 1 E N D, 1 E N D, and that's what the Weemaway thing is. So if you have a question, my email is steve@sologuitar.com, and I hope that helps you get a nice, simple but useful strum for the right hand.